Hey guys, this is your hostess Liberty and welcome back to another tutorial video. We're continuing on with the series of me teaching you how to use tile sets, and this time around we will be doing the outside tile set in the RPG Maker MV series. So let's just make this piece green and go for it. Okay, so again we have water tiles. Yay! Water tiles! Yay! Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Drag and draw. And you can create some pretty fantastic shapes with it. It's rounded, which is not like Ace or that, which is nice to see. A lot of people enjoyed the fact that it was more rounded. But yeah, so water tiles. We also have dark water tiles for indicating deeper water. Yeah, that's pretty simple stuff there. You can just go around the edges and create a bit of deeper water if you so wish. We have a decorative tile. It will again not go over the dark water tile. It's lily pads, lots of lily pads. We also have a grass tile. I'm not sure about this one. I don't use it much. If I do, I tend to use it sort of just sparingly. I think it's more like an algae tile. Algae, whatever, covering over the water like so. I don't like it that much, so I don't really use it. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. This is a snow water tile. It's used for snow. As you can see, it's a different color. It will not mix with that water. But if you get the snow tile around the outside, it can look pretty nice. We'll get more on that. This is a waterfall tile. Alright, so this is a new thing that, well, it's not new, but it is something to keep an eye on. It creates a waterfall. You can move it across to create a deeper waterfall, a longer waterfall, and these will animate in a way to make it look like there's water around. They usually pair with walls on the sides to make them look like that they're part of a wall, and they very usually use these types of bottoms where it's more structured and not this, because this does not match up at all. At all. So yeah, the more square bottoms are the ones that it works better with. This is another tile. This one's more likely to work with these waters. Not really though. As you can see, they don't really match up. The walls are a bit more organic though. So yeah. Okay, so this is the desert water tile, and this comes with some cliff things. These actually do work better with. Oh, sorry. These actually do work better with this type of water. It's the same color, and you can use the cliffs on the side, which I'll show shortly. This is a beach water tile. Not to be confused with the desert one. The desert one has more of a cracked surrounding around it. The beach one is a lot more shallow ended so that it looks better. So yeah. And plus the colors are a bit different between the sands. So that's the beach one. And this is a decorative tile. This is not an actual waterfall tile. I mean, it is, but it's more splashing rocks. It's more of an animation tile for splashing rocks. It's not recommended that you just use this willy-nilly as just a complete waterfall tile, because that looks a bit dumb. So yes, use it in conjunction with this cliff waterfall tile to have a few splashing rocks here and there to give a bit of animation. What am I doing? Something like that. Yeah. Enhancing. This is another town set. A lot of the ones that are just straight square in the MV pack are usually town sets. This would go well with this wall one, but it also comes with this one, which is, yeah, unsurprising. Yeah, it sort of works. You'll see as I use it a bit later. But yeah, it's more square because humans tend to outline their waters with bricks. Here is the swamp tiles with their sandy outline. And again, these ones are not to be used on the edges or anything like that. They're supposed to be used when surrounded by the swamp tile. So they're like the trees on the world map. Easy peasy. Alright, there we go. This is the grass tile. As you can see, it's the plain basic default grass. This is the path tile, just a basic path tile. It can be used as sort of a sand tile. Do note that it will work with this water tile a bit. Let me just, as you can see, it sort of sits well with it. So you could use that path tile. Using the shift mapping, which is holding shift, that works well together. However, this does not. Now, the problem with this tile is that it doesn't really have a tile that suits it at the moment. Well, I mean, it does. It has this tile, but it, yeah, it won't go with this ground tile. So keep that in mind. That ground tile will go with this ground tile will go with the desert tile or the cracked riverbed tile, but not the beach tile. It will also go with this. So if we get this and we go like that, as you can see, it matches quite well with that. So you can use that around the outsides. Around the outside? Around the outside. Like so. Wunderbar. We also have an actual road tile instead of a dirt tile, which goes like that. And yeah, you can make it a bigger tile, a bigger road if you so wish. You can hold shift when you click on it. You can hold shift to get the middle tile. It won't work. If you right mouse click on a tile and then hold shift, it'll give you that exact tile. It's a bit annoying for those who've used the older engines, but otherwise, yeah. This is the same, except it has an outline, a square outline, to make it so that it's a bit more big city type of example. So you can, it's sort of like more like a road than a path. So there. Easy. Grass tiles. Grass, these, because they have nothing around them, again, these ones will actually work on, let me just get the examples set out, like this. These won't go over each other, these four, they will remove each other. This can actually be used over any of them. So, unlike the world map, where it was like, base, level 1, base, level 1. So yeah, those tiles are base tiles. These ones are actually level 1 tiles. Alright? So they will go over any of the base tiles. If we go like this, you'll see, yeah, they'll go over them. Alright. So, this tile is really useful for getting rid of some of that annoying green and just giving it a bit of pop more color. Also, if you have a path that you want someone to take without actually wanting to draw a path, doing something like that will have them follow their eyes that way. So that it's called framing. It's framing the image, the direction that you want them to go. Very useful for that. So if you've got like trees around here and different paths, you can make them think, oh, I want to go that way. So yeah, it's useful. This can be used around, say, dirt paths and that, to give them the more structured feel of and actually being edged in and citied, sort of like civilizationed. So that's useful. They won't go over these tiles. Again, they're on the same layer. These are all on the same layer, so they won't go over each other. This is a fence tile. It's pretty simple to use. It will make fences. Whee! Fence! 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 Don't, just use it in single lines. Don't use it like that. It's a bit silly to use it like that. It is just a fence tile. This is cracked earth tile. You could have it on, say, something like this, and you could put maybe 1 or 2 cracks, but you can also just make it more cracked like that, like a set amount of crack, or just thin cracks like that as well, to give a place a more decrepit look. This is the sand tile. As you can see, it doesn't edge well with this tile in particular. If you want to make it edge with that, you're going to have to surround it with this tile. Hold shift when you do so, like so, and then just trace a way around it, and then get the shift, and there, you've got it. It's a bit annoying that they did that, but it's how they did it. So yeah, and yeah, it just cuts off straight, so you've got to manually do it yourself. Annoying, I know, but what are you gonna do? But yes, that matches with this. No, it doesn't. That's the next one. Oh, that also matches with this tile. So it's pretty much basically the exact opposite tile-wise of those two. Those two are basically... so that one's like if you've got an area that's mainly grass and then you have a bit of pathing. This one is the opposite, where you've got an area that is mainly dirt, and you might have a little bit of grass here and there around the edges. So like that, and then you've got like... it's more for a deserty type area where it's the main thing is actually desert and you know, sand, or well, dirt paths. And to complement it, it also has its own dirt, its own path thing. If you wanted to make that, I mean, this tile will work on it just fine because it is square, so you won't see around the edges. This tile won't, obviously, because it will show the grass, and it won't work on these because it will show the grass. So it's best if you want to have something like that. Say you want it to just show a bit of a tile there, it's best to use that, hold shift, go around the edges, and then go like that, just to work it. Alright. This is a snow tile. It's the snow version of this tile up here. So it doesn't really belong in a desert per se. It's just there for convenience's sake because there's other tiles that would take its place. There's also this tile, which is the grass tile. It will go across the water as well as all the other tiles, as you can see. So it's a brown version of grass tile. This is the snow version of that tile, the edging tile, so that you can have a more edged area. Again, they will not interact with each other properly. This is a different fence type. It's a more fancy Gothic type fence. Pretty simple. This is a Blackening Tile. It's a bit dark for my liking. I tend to lighten it up a bit, but it's basically for things like if you want to show that there's been a lot of pollution in an area, or just stuff like that, like just show algae or some sort of stuff. It's or a burnt area, like, oh no, there was a fire here 20 years ago and it burnt the house down. It's that kind of thing. This is, oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is the beach tile. As you can see, works well with the beach water, and it has its own grass complement to it, so that you have the grass edging down on the beach, sort of thing. It also comes with its own path tile, and it comes with this as well. I mean, this can be used on any of the grasses and that as a sort of a path tile, and I quite like it for a sort of beachy area too. And this is the grass that goes with the beachy area. It's sort of like it's a more it's green, it's sort of dying, but it's not quite dead, sort of thing. This is random. It's just a well, it's a hole tile. You know, it's for making holes. You can use it on any of the base tiles. If we have this, and then we say, oh no, a hole happened. It's pretty simple. Another fence tile. This one's a bit more blocky than the other ones. This is an algae tile. It's sort of like, oh no, we have been overtaken by sludge, and algae has grown everywhere. Or moss in a forest, sort of thing. Yeah, it's pretty simplistic, easy to mention. All right, now we've got the snow tiles. Snow. You've got a snow path, just a base path. You have the snow version of the normal path tile. We already have the snow version up here of the more culturalized one. And we have the frame for, say, this tile here. There is also, oddly enough, a carpet tile. You may be wondering why. It tends to go well with the desert tiles if you've got a sort of desert type place with a market stalls and stuff like that. Or on the beach, you could make it into a towel type thing where people are laying on the towels, or have a beach stall with the carpet there, sort of thing. It is what it is. There's also the grass version, the long grass version of the icy tiles, easy enough, and a square hole for your more civilized hole needs. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Icy fence, and a goop fest, a goopy water tile, like this tile up here, but more with its own edging, so that it doesn't cause trouble. You will have to hold shift when you place that tile, and it doesn't fit. As you can see, the colors are off, so don't use that tile with it, and don't use it with this tile, because again, the colors are off. It's its own goop. All right, now let's just get a green. Let's just do a very basic green, and we'll have a road and a road, because holy hell, it's time to get to the houses. Now, this is something that a lot of people, a lot of new developers mess up on quite a bit. A lot of times you will see I have seen new developers make their own outer houses. A lot of the times they go something like this, or this, or this. They've got the general idea that they're supposed to be paired together, but they miss out on a few things. For one, these are all roof tiles. Every second row from here down to here are basically top tiles paired with bottom tiles. So we call them ceilings or roofs. So these lines are these lines are roofs, these lines are roofs, these lines are ceilings, these are ceilings, these are tops. They're basically all the same thing. These are walls. We call them walls, 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 cliffs because they are trees and walls. So basically that's what they are supposed to represent. Now, when they don't do the one tile with the one roof thing, they tend to, a lot of newbies tend to go like this. Where is it? They tend to go something like that, and then maybe have like something like that. It's a bit big. You don't want to go big, but that's a matter for another day. Usually, personally, I go 2 tiles high for walls, but much larger for the roofs. Now, I know a lot of people think that the roofs are usually like that. If we were looking on the side, it would be a peaked roof, and that would be big. Yes, that's usually the case. Because we can't add... The problem is that a lot of these graphics are 3/4 view, meaning that what we see is we see part of the top and, because of the view, a bit of the back. In this case, in the case of the roof tiles, we see none of the back. Ideally, we'd see sort of like an edge of the back. If it were peaked, we don't see that. This is just looking at it straight on. So it's really, 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 really annoying. For example, just to give an example, we can see the back of the trees here. If it weren't, it would be something like this. We wouldn't be able to get rid of that. We wouldn't be able to see the back of the trees. That would be where it ended. It's like the back of the canopy. It's sort of dumb in the way that they did it. Same with this. 3/4 means that we can see the end of the cliff instead of seeing straight on. So we can see the back of the cliff. That's not how these are presented. Ideally, there'd be like, that line would be somewhere around here, and we'd still see the back part. It's not showing us that because it's not presenting properly. So to make up for that, people tend to make the roofs a bit bigger than the walls, so that there's the feeling of depth in the house, so it looks to be a bit bigger. Because of the way the tiles are set up and how stupid it is set up, that is how we do it to fix it. Just to let you know. So, is it okay to mix and match roofs? Yeah, it's fine to mix and match roofs. Is it okay to make a roof like that? I guess, maybe? It would give the idea, what you're doing with that is giving the idea that this area is longer than this area. You're not making that a bigger roof. You're making this area longer than that area. Another way to do it is to have the lines separate the roofs a bit, like that, so it's shown that, okay, these are not actually connected together, but they sort of are, but they're sort of not, sort of thing. So a lot of newbies tend to do that, or they tend to go like this and then go like that, which is fine. That's fine. Let's face it, that's fine. It's all cool. I mean, that's good. Now, the biggest issue that new mappers have is doing something, and it's something that happens in inside and outside houses, is this. Okay. We've got a roof at all the same height. Okay? This is what you need to understand when you're a mapper. If a tile like this, it's called an auto tile because it automatically connects together. If an auto tile is all at all connected without a line, if say I had that like that and then there was like that and a line between them, that would mean that those two are not connected. Okay? So ideally, if that was the case, this one could have a different wall. Stop that. You stop that game. You stop doing that. This one could have a different wall. This one could be higher. You know? This one would be a different house. They're not connected. However, something that a lot of new mappers do is go like this. The problem here is that this roof is all the same level. These walls are not. So from the side, well, this would then be floating in the air because it would be connected to the top of the roof, the ceiling tile. It would be connected here. It's connected, but it's not the same height as this 3 tile one. Now the 3 tile one is going to be higher, right? But it's at the same level on the roof. So what would be happening is, let me just close that, just to make a quick example. What will be happening is this. Let's just go like this. We've got the red roof. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Grey background. Nope. White background. Okay. We have the red roof going like that. Or near enough to. Yep. And then we would have one wall coming down like this. And then the other wall would be up like that. Floating off the ground. So, from a 3-point point of view, if we were going like this, we would be having... Oh, we would be having something like that, except there'd be no connection there. So the house would be shaped in such a way that this corner would be on the ground where the grass is. So, oh jeez. So there'd be the grass in the ground. Yeah, alright. So the grass would be like that and like that. That part would be on the ground. This part would be floating in the air. Yeah. That's not how houses work. So, to fix that, always make sure that if the connection up the top is at the same height, as in it's all connected, these are all the same size. It doesn't matter if you then make the house sort of like that and add more. Something like that's fine, as long as you set that. Okay, let's just do it quick. Okay, firstly, same size roof. Okay, doesn't always have to be, but we'll just to make it an easier visual explanation. All right, so something like this is fine. As a sort of, oh, this is a top floor, it goes up a bit. Just make sure that the floor is always touching the same height in this example. So if you wanted an upper floor that was taller. Like they had stairs in this area that went up into an attic type thing. And then this area was just a first floor one. That's fine like that, you know? Like the roof itself, as long as you can see from the roof that this isn't all one roof. Like you can see that there is a disconnection between the roof. This roof and this roof. They're not joined. There's a line between them saying that this one is up more from that one. You know? That's fine. Something like this is fine. Where they're connected like that. Because, again, 2 walls high, 2 walls high. Something like this isn't. Because these are the same floors, that's all the same level, even with the line in between it, it is all the same level. Because the roof ends there and that. But this is 3 tiles high. That's not right. So yes, always make sure that they're the same height, or the bottom is touching at the same height. So something like that, no. Alright, it's something that a lot of people do when they're new to mapping, and it's very very painful to see. But yes. Alright, let's get back to this. So these are all roofs. As you can see, they all work together. There's different types of roofs. There's blue ones, there's metal ones, there's pink ones, there's grey ones. They're really cool. I'm just making a line of all the different roofs so you can see them. So these ones can all mix and match together. So you can give this one these walls, or you can give this one these walls. You can give this walls to that one. You can give that one these walls. You know, you can do that one like that, and you can do this one like this. That's all fine. That first row, it can all mix and match just perfectly. You can even mix and match these ones. Like you can have the wooden walls with the orange roof. It does look a bit dumb, but these ones can all mix and match together as well, right? So you can have this wooden one with this roof here, or this wall with this loggy roof, or this wall with this roof, or this roof with the log walls. That's all nice. That's all cool. That works well. This one is a bit different. I mean, it's not too different. Like, you can still mix and match a bit. Like, you can give it, like, these walls if you really want. They don't really look that great. They're better with, like, stone walls like that. Still mix and matchy. Still a roof. This one's more of a flat roof, though. And, this one, it's probably best not to mix and match because this is a tent roof. Usually for all your tenty goodness, if you so wish. You can even make it sort of like a tent stand. Add the carpet on the inside. Add a little bit of a shadow to make it look like you can go in there. You know, that's all cool. That's all great. The roof and floor. This is an ice, a snow roof. Usually you'd want to use it with the ones that have snow on the bottom, because otherwise it looks a bit silly with with one that doesn't. But that's up to you. These are, snow roofs. They can be mixed and matched as well. These are more flat roofs, so and they're often paired with their own brick tile. Now these are good for walls. As you can see, you can make a 2 tile high wall, and it's all good. You can make it pretty thick. You can make a building out of it if you so wish. You can pile the wall on top of it like so to make a pseudo sort of, wait a sec, a dink, a dink, a sort of pseudo tower type thing, like so. Yeah, like that, except you want the edges so that they're not connected. So yeah, so you can make something like that if you so wish, or just use it to make a wall, even a short wall. Don't use it as ground tiles. The reason for this is that the ceiling tiles and the ceiling tile, like these tiles, the top ones, all of them down here, like these ones and these ones and these ones, have a specific value where they are placed on the tile set, has them do changing things. In this case, without a wall tile beneath them, you can walk up on these and these will act like a cliff in that you can't go past the edges. Alright? That's what ceiling tiles do. That's why they need a wall tile underneath them. That's why if you put a set of stairs like this, you can make them be a sort of stand to walk on. That is what all ceiling tiles do. So when you use them for floor tiles, which I have seen people do, it creates an issue. The only way you can make these into floor tiles is if you actually edit the chip set. You go into the tile set, you take the middle tile of these, and you put it somewhere like on this E tile, or somewhere like that. On this on the A5 tile. Because otherwise they will have the inbuilt thing where you can walk on from the bottom but not on the arounds, and when you walk up on them on the bottom, you can't go past the boundaries. Alright? So keep that in mind, people. Again, wall tiles, they're good. They're good like that. I don't recommend mix and matching the roofs for these ones because they look kind of dumb. Because they are set in a particular type of stone. So these ones obviously goes with these. That kind of thing. So they very obviously have their own set to go with. So these ones won't really work well with that. They won't work well with this either. They'll really only work well with these, possibly with this, but not really. Alright? I mean, you could probably get away with that a little, but not really. So yes, same with this. That is not a floor tile. That is a ceiling tile. And yeah, you could make a sort of, what's it called? An altar out of it. Definitely you could do that, where you walk up and, you know, walk on the stage sort of thing. But yeah, these are hedge tiles. I don't see people messing these up too much, apart from the height thing where they go like that. It's like, no, because they heat the same height, because they're all the same height, the walls need to be the same height as well. I do see people go like that, where they just leave it like that, or use them as floor tiles yet again. Again, they're not a floor tile. You can use them, you could use stairs to get up them, to walk on top of them, but inherently they're not a wall tile, and that looks a bit dumb. I have seen people use something like that, where that's sort of like a wedge going down so that you can walk up and on them. Fair enough. I mean, that's up to you. But yes, don't just leave it like that. Always put a wall under a ceiling tile. Always. Also, I see a lot of this, where this is one tile, that's two tiles. they're connected by the same ceiling, that's not going to work. Always remember, if you've got one tile here, then make it one tile there. If you've got two tiles here, then make it two tiles there. Alright? Easy to remember. It's just understanding and knowing. That's the thing. This is a sort of like a ice or mirror dungeon type thing. Again, one tile, two tile, keep it symmetrical, keep it how it's supposed to be, and don't do that. Alright, again, some more roof tiles, some more wall tiles. Not really the mix and matchy sort. I mean you could if you really wanted to. It doesn't look great though. Like, it looks better with the tiles that they deserve. Like, they work together better with the tiles they're mixed with. Alright, now this one, interestingly enough, is something... Wait, let's just go like that. If we go back up here and we grab this, and then we grab that and shift click it, you can see that we have the same wall tiles for the waterfall. The same wall tiles for the same wall tiles that are for that waterfall. Yeah, see? We don't really have a water tile that fits with it though. I mean, there's that, but it doesn't really fit. So I tend to ignore that waterfall. However, we also found this waterfall's tiles, which can be used with that if we go down and use this wall tile. Nope, not that one. Is it this one? No, not that one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay, never mind. We're not there yet. Although, yeah. Preview! Looky, looky. You can make a statue. I mean, a wall. There you go. As you can see, that works. You then have, like, this here like that, and then you can have like your water going up there, and then a roof tile of some sort on top, maybe something like this. Ta-da! Yeah. And of course you'd have to fill in that. But yes, that's just a general idea of what you can use it, how you can use it. Anyway, back to the rest of it. Okay, so again, icy temple, some more wall tiles. Again, best not to mix and match these ones. You can make them thicker. Again, not a walking tile. These ones are good for a an actual wall that you've got guards standing on, I find, so that they can walk back and forth on them. But yeah, again, not for actual walking tile, floor tiles. The roof of that one. Yep. This one is much like that one in that it's just a different color, and it's good for a walking roof that you can climb up on some way. Say there's stairs inside that you can climb up and get, and there's stairs up here that you can walk out of, and then you can walk on the roof. Something like that works. These are actual cliff tiles. Alright. Again, these suffer a lot at the hands of new mappers who tend to make them like, oh, well, this will be all like this long, and then that's that. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Johnny Abadi. 2 tiles high, 1 tile high. However how high it is, make sure that it's the same height all the way around. I don't usually use these cliff tiles because they do that annoying curl in thing. Usually I use the base ones down here so that I can do something like something like this instead, so that it all matches up nicely like that. Alright, easy peasy. This is another version of cliff tile with a thingy on top, sand instead, which can be used with this, with the muck tile or the cracked water tile. You can also use, if we go like this and bring that down like that, we can also use the waterfall tile here. So if we go like that and then get ourselves this and this tile and get rid of that stupid auto shadow, god damn it, auto shadow, we can have a lovely little waterfall. And if we just where is it? I tend to use these tiles as well because they don't mess up the anything that I put on top. Like this is how you see it's making the thing around it. It's causing a little bit of a problem. I prefer to manually do the tiles so that they don't cause that auto shit problem. So as you can see, the waterfall goes down and then it can splash into this down here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. You can even add that. Alright, so that's just a quick hoodly loody. This one is the same, except this one's the beach water tile. If you're going to use that, you're going to have to, if you want to have that particular tile, you're going to have to use that particular tile. Same with the ice one, because there is no version on the A4 for it, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate. Also, they have the cliff bottoms. Now, it makes sense with this because it is a different color, but with these ones, the only reason you use it is because the bottom parts are different. So if you have this tile, works with that one. This tile works with that one. So yeah, that's what that's for. So the different tiles at the bottom can work with the different, if you've got the different floor tiles. Alright, easy. Cinchy babies. This is just another building tile, really. I never really use this one because it looks a bit weird, but you know, it's there if you want to use it. Tree tiles. Yay! Another thing I see again is people going like this. No, keep them all the same height. They're sharing the same ceiling. So keep them all the same height. It doesn't matter that there's a trees instead. That just looks stupid unless everything else is like that. So yes, same height, please, for the love of all things. Otherwise, you can also do something like, yeah, it's not bad. One thing I do recommend is never going skinnier than 2 for this, because it looks kind of dumb like that. So if I highly recommend at least keeping a 2 thing. At least, at the very least. Same with the width. That just looks stupid. So try and keep it at least a 2. So yeah, that's that. There's the ice version, which has different colored trunks and works well with the snow. I say that it's a bit dark, but you know, it works. And same with the snow version. Make sure that it's only 2. This is another wall / ceiling type thing. Make sure it doesn't go like that or like that. Keep it like that. Keep it. You can have outcroppings or incroppings if you so wish. Just make sure to remember to always keep it the same height. In or out. Yeah. Brilliant. Alright. Next, this. I have seen people use this for doors. I mean, that's okay. But they tend to, let's just go like this. This is something that I've seen quite a few people do. And they have a wall. And then they say, I want to put a door on the wall, but it needs a black hole behind the door. There. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Hold shift, then place it. Then put your door over the top. Because that just looks dumb. I'm sorry, but it does. If we took an actual wall like this, let's just make it 3 high because we can. Get the roof and go like that. Whoop, 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 and get rid of that. If we go like this, that just looks terrible. The only way I would personally forgive that, I wouldn't even forgive it for that. If you actually created a frame for the door, like and actually edited in corners like that and made it like that so that there was an actual frame around it, I'd forgive that. But that actually, in and of itself, just plonking it down, no, don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Alright. So, yes, again, what you do, hold shift when you place it. Voila. And then put the door on top. Voila. Or just use the one on the B tile, because they don't mess it up. Voila. Alright. Now, this tile will show what's underneath parallax-wise. Fairly simple. This will show what's underneath parallax-wise, and that couples with it to give it the 3D sort of effect instead of just a plain path. You can, of course, go like multiple, but as long as there's that at the bottom, that is not for the top of doors or anything like that, guys. It pairs with this. This is a bridge or planking. I see people use it like that as a bridge going across. No, don't do that. It goes like that. I've seen some people use it as a roof. It's not a roof, guys. It's not a roof. Leave it alone. It was never meant to be a roof. I've seen some people use it as stairs. It's not stairs. It's not stairs, guys. Guys, please. It's a bridge. Or at the very least, a floating sort of, like a pier sort of thing. There's the ice version of it, of course. Icy! This is the sideways version of it. You'll go, it's not big enough. Pair it with the one next to it. There you go. Now you can make it as big as you want. As long as you don't do what I'm currently doing. There we go. There you go. Big old raft. Happy? Happy. And there is, of course, the sideways version of it with the sideways version of that. Nice. Easy, breezy, beautiful, wonderful. BA tile, we have just the square versions of the ground tiles, which can come in useful. They don't mix well together. I've seen people do it like this. Don't do it like this, people. Please. These are the variation tiles. They're, this one doesn't really go with that one very well, although I do prefer that one. And there's that one. Stairs. Stairs. Stair tiles. Don't just put them like that and have, like... I've seen people do this, where they go like this. Right? They've put it like that. And then they just have it like that with no cliff top. And then maybe they get a fence or something and just fence it around like that to make the top of the cliff. No, don't do that. Use these tiles. Use these tiles or these tiles. Those will close off the fence, like close off the area. You can't go over the edge. The only problem is that you can't touch those. So what you do is you hold shift. Voila. Now you can walk up on them. Wunderbar? Wunderbar. And don't put them together like that. For the love of all things holy. There you go. Wunderbar. Alright, so those are stairs. These are other stairs. Whoa. Oh, okay. Oop. These are single stairs. Don't use them together like that, guys. You've got these for them. You can move them together like that and then fill it in like that if you want only two stairs. They're single stairs or non-single stairs. These are more ground tiles. Let me just... These are actually floor tiles that you can use. So, floor tile, another floor tile, more floor tile. These are the broken versions of the floor tiles, which people tend to miss. So, they're versions of these floor tiles that are a bit decrepit. And you can use them to show a bit of age has happened. Again, more stairs for different environments. Some more floor tiles that you can make use of for floors. Even the ice floors. They do partner with these tiles a bit. Oh no, sorry, these tiles a bit. But yeah, they can be used anywhere. And you can use this tile to give them a more city type pathing look, if you so wish. So we've got, again, some more broken tiles of these. And this is an alternative to that tile. Again, we have these stairs as well as some broken stairs. These are walls. I showed them to you earlier. They go with that waterfall tile that was shown earlier. This is the single wall type. That is just a thin wall. These are more floor tiles. Yet more floor tiles. Snow. Now, if we go up to the snow tiles and we get a bit of snow happening. These are variations of the snow tile. So, but they look kind of dumb. I'm not a fan, personally. Okay, so next up are these tiles, which are better used with this this type of tile around. These are not supposed to go like that. They're not supposed to go like that. What they are supposed to go like is that is one long. You put that like that and that like that to create a garden bed. You can then use this tile to break it up a little bit and give it a little bit of cushion pushing. There we go. This is the snow version. These are some decorative tiles. You can use them on the floor or on a wall. If you're going to use them on a wall, make sure that you go... Well, actually, I wouldn't use them on a wall because you can see that they're 3D, sort of like you can see the top parts. So they're more likely to be floor tiles. Don't use them like this, just overabundance of tiles all over the place. They're sort of like... They're sort of supposed to be like a special tile that you use to denote this is special sort of thing. So they're not really used for just slapping all over the place. Sort of looks a bit overused. Same with this one. Like they're the same. They just look back and forth. Alright, this is a plant pot sort of tile thing where you have a single plant growing in a single spot. You can put a tree on it or just a little flower or something. This is the winter version. And these are, of course, cliffs. You can make any shape with the cliffs. What I usually tend to do is just make a shape with these cliffs and then go around and replace them with these cliffs, because why the fuck not? These are bottom cliffs for this tile. See how it matches. And these are the bottom cliff here for the grass tile. Easy. Alright, let's get to B tiles, shall we? Next up is the B tiles for the outer sets. Let's just breeze through them. Again, empty for the B1, for the B set, so that it's not thrown all over the place. This is a sign of a sword. This is a sign of armor and a sword. This is an armor sign. This is a sign of a bag, usually for items. This is a teapot sign. This is an inn sign. This is a house sign. I just want to show an example of how they can be used. Say you've got something like that. You can use them hanging on the side. You could say you've got a window up the top of the place. You can have them hanging... wait. Let's get a window like this. You can have it hanging from the ledge of the window. Doesn't look as good. Or you could just have it over the door like so. Some people use them as actual signs outside the front, sort of like that. I mean, I guess you could do that. It's not my cup of tea though. Right, where was I? That's the beer sign. There is the food sign for restaurants, magic sign, magic staff, money sign, jewelry sign, anvil, like a hammer sign, a crest, sort of like a guild maybe, and an empty one that you can experiment with or just have hanging around. Next up are these. These are bridges or little walkways that can go from house to house or over rivers. These go with them and tend to go like so as supports, like that. These are the same sort of things, you know. These are metal versions, or at least grey versions. These are also other versions of them, and these have a more metallic based under thing. Okay, so those are bridges and stuff like that. So you can have like let's just get something quickly. Yeah, so if we had a water like that, we could have, say, this bridge going across it, and usually I tend to just use that version in and of itself, unless I've got deeper water. But yeah, you could. I've seen people also use it like that, which I mean works, I guess, but it's not my forte. It's not my cup of tea, because it tends to be a bit longer. You can also use them between houses, like if we just quickly get, say, this, and we make it's sort of like a rooftop there and then a rooftop here, and just go back and get one of these. You can also do something like that where they have this. Let's make the houses a little bit bigger, so like that, just to show a bit better. So you've got the bridge going across to the other house, to each other. You can have that sort of going like that, and then this is a sort of scaffold hanging onto the side of the house. Again, I prefer just to use the middle tile by itself and get rid of that stupid tile there, and usually have a sort of shadow on the ground sort of thing. But yeah, that's something that you can do with those. They're useful. Alright, we need a quick house. And there's a cat in my room that should not be in here. Alright, so quick house. Let's make it a bit of a bigger house. There we go. Alright, so window. Those are for up on the wall. They're better for, I find that they're better for 1 tile high houses. Shit. As they fit a bit better on the scaling side of things. For 2 tile high houses, I tend to use other ones. That one's a decorated tile. That one's got flowers on it. This one is a closed window. These are the ones I like to use for 2 tile high houses. And then you can add like, oh, there's a bush. Nope. There's flowers. Oh. Oh, shit. Sorry. Oh, crap. It's closed. It's closed. It's opened. These are, again, like these ones. For these types, I find they're like, okay, well, that one's locked. It's a jail window. Oh wait, no, look, it's a window with a thing. Oh wait, no, look, it's for a church. This one can work, I guess, on these bigger houses, but not my type of thing. Another version of big house one where you've got plants and stuff on them, and you can again have the shut one, or you can have a church one, pretty stained glass, or just an empty one. These ones also work on the bigger houses. They're set up more to fit with them. This is a chimney. This is a chimney. Except it's not a chimney. Ha ha ha, Libby, you're so funny. This one is... Let me just get this out. Like so. And then get a little dock happening. Like so. Hold shift when you're placing these, guys. That'll do, I guess. Alright. These are anchoring lines for if you've got a ship or something, or a dock. Easy enough. These are door openings. That is a single one, but you can use it with that to make a double door. You can see that there's a little shadow, lighter shadow in the bottom part. This is for a sort of shorter door. This is for an oval door, and this is for an oval door without the shadow on the inside. This is another chimney. We have a sign, we have another sign, we have a well, we have some stone stepping stones, we have a barrel, we've got a grave, we have another grave, we have a pot, or a vase, or a jar, we have a bucket, we have a water-filled bucket, we have a fire pit that hasn't been used, we have a fire pit that has been used, we have a barricade that archers and soldiers can hide behind, We have a different direction, like facing that way, barricade. This is a weird plant, something like a beanstalk, I guess, but it doesn't go up. I've never found a real good use for it. This is just little grass, tuft of grass, and this is a bigger tuft of grass. This is some moss. These are some extra tufts of grass, a stump, sorry, a flower, another flower, 2 flowers, a big flower, and a log. You have a tree. Yep, trees are good. You have this version of the tree, like that. You have a grey stone, you have a brown stone, you have a bush. Simple. Scarecrow, hole in the ground, cut up wood logs, some stones. Now, these, if I get this, let's just make a little farm plot up here. These are farming things, so that's wheat. These are carrots. These are cauliflower. And this is grapevines. Grapevines, they usually go well. These are bigger trees. As you can see, they're bigger than the normal trees. They can overlap with these trees just fine. Yeah, you can make a lot of shapes. These are that version, a little darker around, but you know, same thing. This is a 2 tile high block. It's a crate. Yeah, I usually use just the back part to make it look like something's built up back there. A crate, a small crate, an open crate, a crate of grain or potatoes, a crate of green apples, a crate of carrots, and a crate of fish or squid or something along those lines. Christmas tree 4-way thing. Snowy version of that, snowy version of the pot, snowy version of the bucket. Hey, Mr. Buckethead! Snowy version of crate, snowy version of that, snowy version of a barricade, snowy version of a barricade, snowy version of that, this plant up here. Snowy roof thing, you know, chimney, snowy sign, snowy other sign, snowy well, snowy foot things, snowy barrel, snowy grave, and snowy other grave, tombstone. Snowy grass, more snowy grass, snowy moss, snowy other grass, snowy stump, snowy log, snowy stones or pebbles, snowy wood, snowy hole, and a cute little snowman. There's also the snowy version of these trees, sort of, plus the double, a snowy version of the bush, and snowy versions of the rocks. This is all pretty useful stuff for decorating. A lot of people don't bother decorating. When it comes to new developers, they tend to leave big wide open spaces. Decorate a bit, you know, show some care. Think about what your area is, and then give it a little love. A few love taps with a few pieces of grass and some like longer grass, and then some flowers around can make all the difference. Some trees that overlap. So we've got dead trees, the duplicate version of dead trees that shows that they're both there, a dead bush, mushrooms, some more mushrooms, a jungle flower, a mossy stump, some palm trees, the double version of palm trees, a cactus, a pretty bush with flowers on it, a jungly fern, some dead pieces of grass and jungle fern that's withered up, a haystack, a snowy haystack, some herbal flowers, a big old dried out bush, some dried leaves, a lily pad, another lily pad, and yet another lily pad. They go on the water only, guys. These are let's just clear this slate a bit. Where's a house? Actually, you know, we can use a cliff just as well. Just as an example, guys. So these are vines that climb up. You can use both versions or just the bottom part. Don't just use the top part. Don't just use the bottom part because it looks a bit stupid unless there's a hole for it to climb into, in which case that actually doesn't look too bad. These are dead these are dead vines. These are very alive vines. Again, just using the top parts can add a little bit of variation. These are wall tiles only. All of these only go on walls. Alright? They're not for floors. They're for walls. This is moss. Those are leaves that are hanging out of stone. This is a crack for a wall. This is another crack for a wall, a worse crack. Like, I like to use the top and bottoms in various places. This is a huger crack for a wall. This is for an inside wall, like a house wall or something, to show the it's broken and you can see the brick work underneath. This is a mouse hole, usually. We have a tent, a snowy version of a tent beneath it. There is a lamplight and a snowy version of a lamplight. We have stairs that go up both sides and another version of them, stairs that go down. Again, different versions of them. Ladders. So, how do you use ladders? Holy. You go like this. Wait a sec. Let me just fix this wall. There we go. How does use ladder? Okay. Put that there. This is the tiling one, so if your wall's like more than 2 high, you'll go like that, but you put that like that. And that is the bottom one, where you climb up. Same with this, rope ladder. Same with this, rope. Then we have this, which is a climbing vine, and you can have that's like these that goes down. There's ladder going down into a hole, another ladder going down into a hole, that like that, and a rope version going down into a hole, and a fall down, or just a hole. Easy! Alright. C. Oh boy. C. Fucking C. These are more decorative tiles. We have pillars. So, different pillars that can be used. There's a mossy pillar, an icy pillar, a wooden pillar, okay, so we've got a square stone pillar, a circular pillar, a smaller, slimmer stone pillar, a mossy version, a frozen version, a wooden pillar, a sort of different stone pillar, and a demonic, demon, scary, icky pillar. Then we've got the broken versions of those pillars. So you've got the broken version of the square, the circle, the slim, the mossy, the icy, the wooden, the other stone, and the ugly. Then you also have these. Now, because these are all made of the same material, you can use the same rubble. So rubble, 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 mossy rubble, icy rubble, wooden rubble, that stone rubble, and that stone rubble. Easy enough. You also have 2 dead bodies, one of an animal, one of a human. Then we have, let's just grab a wall tile, shall we? Sure, okay. Then we have banners. So you've got banner and then destroyed banner, different color banner, another destroyed banner. And again, 2 more variations of different colored banners and destroyed banners. So all your banner needs are met right here at your banner store. So you've got a decent amount of choice for that. We have a monument type that's got little writing on it, so it's sort of like a monument. You've got a mini version of it. It could probably act as a gravestone of some sort. There's a little sign version of one. You've got a big gravestone or magical plinth or whatever you want it to be. There is the magically lit up version. There is the icy version. You also have an icy version of these guys. And a destroyed and decrepit version of that. You have some statues. So you have a knight. You've got 2 pretty angels. You've got a woman, a woman riding a dragon around a stone, and you've got just the base of a statue, a crumbled broken statue, a big old dragon statue, and a goddess statue, I believe, or an Asura statue. I think it's a goddess statue. Then you have the snowy versions of the statues, including the dragon and the base ones, and a water-based statue. It looks like a dragon with his head up, rearing up, yelling, screaming, "Hey, Carl!" You then have these fancy-looking windows, which can be used on walls. As you can see, you've got a little bit of variation. You have some piles of rock or sand tile there, as well as a big pile of them, and a cave door. Why is it doing that? Okay, so you've got a cave door. I tend to use that if I'm using a 1 tile high base. And you've got as well as a mine door. I don't use that when I'm using a 1 tile high base. Lastly, we've got some roofs and stuff, so I'll just get some house bases going to show you how to use these. Alrighty, so let's just get something like that, and that over here, maybe with something like that. Wait, I'll make it 2 tiles high. There we go. Alright, back to C. Alright, so these are roof tiles. They're pretty easy to use. A few people tend to mess them up a little, but they're pretty simple once you know how. Basically, you're just going around the edges of your roof, like so. Let's get rid of that tile. Excuse me, please give me the tile I desire. To create a roof like that. Pretty simple, yeah? I think so. It's pretty simplistic. These tiles can be used to shape the roofs a bit. So say you want something like a little house out like that. You can have it like this and then get that tile. But you'll need a tile to join that. So you get this one and that does the joining there. And then you go like this and like so, but you need a tile to join that, so you use this one. Yeah, and it fixes it like that. Same, you've got a snow version of it as well, and a blue version. They're exactly the same, they have all the same tiles, and a wooden version. You also have this, which goes with this tile. giving you a little like room, or a little roof room. So if you had the blue tiles, that would be the version. If you had the wood tiles, that would be the little version. It's just a little window, and that's the snow tile version. So it's pretty simplistic. It's just like a little attic window or something like that. They're pretty easy to deal with. These are tower tiles. You can make them taller, like so, and then put that on top. They mix well with walls. So if you have something like this, and like that, and then you put like that over the other side like that, you've got yourself a pretty cool looking tower base sort of thing. You could also use a bit of shift mapping to make it so that they go into there, and then maybe have it come out the other side like so, so it's more of a tower, and then maybe have another version like that. Let me just get that. I do realize that there's things like if we made that like that tall. Let me just clear away all this shit. Alright. Ah! Stop it, game. Alright, so if we had it like that, that tall, and then we went back here, and we got the top part, and went like that, and then we considered that that would be 1, 2, so those would be hidden behind there. So that would be the amount. So you'd want that and that on the other side as a sort of side thing, and then you could have sort of like a gate type thing here like this, that you could use with this tile. Oh. Go like that. Use the shadow tile to make a sort of underpass, sort of bridge underpass thing type thing, and you can make like the gotta hold shift to do it. More windows and stuff. So yeah, that's just a little example of what you can do with those tiles in particular. There's also, you could put a pointy roof on them instead of a rooftop. These will join, if you want to make it so that it's sort of like, where is it? Sort of like this. Yes, so like that, where it's the corner of a tower that goes up. Oh, jeez. Like, sorry. I don't use these too often, so they're a bit annoying to mess with. But something like that, where you have like the corner of the tower or something like that. Or if you go like this, and then you have like the 2 tiles and then the bottom tile. So it's be more like that, actually. So it's set on the corner edges. You can do that as well with those tiles. You've got the ice version, you've got the evil dragon lord or evil lord version, and you've got a different brick version, which would couple with these 2 tiles, I'd say. So yeah, you've got a few versions, a few examples. So yeah, that's it for the outer tiles. Next time we'll go into the inside tiles. That'll be fun. Yeah, so 2 down, 4 to go. I'll see you next time, guys. Ciao for now. Bye.